Hey, my name's Anna. I'm head coach at Leveraged, and today with me I have Anthony for the success interview. Hey, please let us know who you are.
I'm Anthony, as you mentioned, from Scotland, and been trading for 4 years. A couple of years were speculative, and the last 2 years I've been trading full time.
Full time. Okay, so 4 years, 2 years, bumpy. How bumpy was your start? Can you maybe share some highlight moments of your biggest failures? But like, just keep it lightheaded, okay? Hopefully it's not a sob story.
So the first deposit I made was I seen an advert for copy trading on social media and put 500 quid in, and it was going great for a couple of weeks, and then within a couple of days the money was gone. As quite a lot of these social media gurus are, a lot of them are just talk. And then I just started looking at the charts myself, put £500 in an account, and I just went on a really good run. I think I was keeping it really simple, and I flipped the 500 quid into like 30 grand in 6 weeks, and I thought trading was easy. Well, I'd just been on a pretty good run. Everything I was putting on, I was making money, and it was going great. And then I had a really bad day, and the 30k, I ended up losing 12 grand in one day. But again, it was all an experience, and after that, I kind of just I got a little bit obsessed with learning about trading. It's kind of strange the way that my trading journeys worked. I started off, I didn't really know very much. I just looked at the charts, looked at where price was reacting, and then I started to learn loads of different things, overcomplicated it, lost money for a long period of time, and now I've kind of just went back to basics, and I've been doing that for the last couple of years. My strategy is really, really simple. It's pretty much what I identified when I first started looking at charts 4 years ago. That's kind of where I'm at now.
I kind of want to ask, so what do you think is that reason that, 4 years ago when you started, you did had a good run? So your strategy is the same. So what has changed? Is it your risk management? Is it your mindset? Like something has to be clicked on for you to do well
now. Risk management was non-existent when I first started.
For sure. As most traders.
I didn't really understand it. And to be honest, I didn't care about it, especially when I first started, because I was making so much money so quickly. I thought, everything, I just thought trading was easy. Risk management's probably the mindset side of things. Although I said I trade full time, I don't spend a huge amount of time in front of the charts, because sometimes I feel like if I stare at the charts too long, I'll see what I want to see, rather than the setups that are there. And I'm really good at removing myself from a situation when I know I'm not in the right frame of mind, which is taking me a long time to get to that point. Even once I decided to go full time, it was easy when I was working, because I knew I had a safety net, and then I went full time, and I lost money for the first 2 months I was full time. And trying to convince my wife that trading was a good thing, and it was the right thing to do, was quite difficult at that time. She was desperate for me to go back to work. But the main thing for me is I kind of started to realise when I wasn't in the right frame of mind for trading. And it's not just when I'm in a bad mood, because we've all been there, but when I'm really happy as well, I get triggered happy with the buttons and buy, sell, and like it's knowing how to identify what mood I'm in, and I need to be like just in the middle, just all right.
Just right. It makes me think about the story of the Goldilocks of the porridge, right? It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. I know, it's like the best advice, just read Goldilocks and then you will know. Right. Okay, so now you're a profitable trader. You've been trading for 2 years full time, and obviously it feels like you're that reaching the highs and all the time. So maybe you can share what is still the struggle that you go through now, because I think no matter how long you trade, you will still get on the struggles. And if there's something that you can share, what you're struggling even now as being profitable and full-time trader, Like, what are your struggles still now?
But probably the main one, and it's strange because I make money, but I could make more if I just wait a little bit. You know, I mark up my charts. I know where I want to take trades from, and sometimes I'll be just a little bit too eager. And like I say, it means that I'm having to put wider stops in. My profits aren't as high. When I do take L's, they're a little bit bigger, and I kind of know where price is going to react. I know where it's going to make its move. You kind of learn to identify that when you've spent as much time on the charts as I have. But even now, sometimes I still, you know, if it gets 30, 40 pips up, away from my zone, I'm like, oh yeah, that might be it. And I don't know why, because I know where it's going, but sometimes I still just rush things a little bit. That's probably
so patience then. Okay.
Yeah,
a big thing. It's a big thing for sure. Okay. So it's really good to hear, you know, you as a success trader, you really had a bumpy start. I still can't believe you made like 30K with no risk management. It's like absolutely blows my mind. And now 2 years full-time trader. So how did you start with leverage? Where did you hear about us? Where did you find out the leveraged?
I think I Googled. So I mentioned to you, I trade quite a few different prop firms, and some of them were good, some of them were bad. I put in a search on Google, popped up, and I thought, oh, they look okay. Looked at the reviews, most of them were pretty good. Every prop firm's got some bad reviews. It's just the nature of the industry. And I thought, I'll give it a go. And that's kind of well.
Okay, so you Googled. Good. Thanks, Google, need to say. Great. So you're trading actually turbo accounts, and for the turbo accounts, it's like the easiest way how to get started because it's such a small fee you pay, and then only when you pass you pay the activation fee. And there is a rule, the consistency rule, and maybe you can just walk us through, and maybe other traders who are listening to this will take some advice from you. How do you manage that consistency rule? Because it's 20% consistency. So maybe you can kind of give us the advice or just walk us through how you manage that.
It's pretty simple, really. I don't really need to look for huge moves because, you know, what's the point of making 10 grand in one day when I'm going to have to replicate that? The consistency, it's kind of been a good thing for me because it's meant I've actually dropped my risk, which means that the account's more protected, which is kind of why I like, you know, a lot of prop firms are putting consistency rules, and people hate them. I think they're pretty good because it forces me to trade in a more risk effective manner, let's say. And yesterday was not a great day. I lost 1% on the account. It happens. It would have been easy for me to jump into more trades. I'm good at pulling myself away when I know not to, or when things aren't going well. So I just, whenever I get to the stage where I've lost like a 1% on the account, I'll pull myself away. And whenever I've made around 1%, I'll just call it a day. So that's good. That's
Yeah, I think, well, look, I think it's really, really good that you can pull yourself out when you are in a good, like winning, and when you're in losing as well, because actually the most dangerous parts, I honestly think, and I've seen this in traders, is when they win big because they cannot stop, and then ego comes in and you think like you're almighty, you know the market, you know what's going to happen. And I really do believe that actually more danger for the trader is when they are making money instead of losing, because when you're losing, you're kind of like, okay, but I really need to stop, otherwise I'm going to lose this all. Right. So but when you're winning, it's like just suddenly you think like you're this wizard of the market. So and it's really, really good to hear that you can snap out of both things, that you can snap out when you're losing and when you're winning. Well, I want to talk about buffer. So because you're trading turbo, and when you request your payout, what happens, because we do have a trailing drawdown, the drawdown, the max drawdown locks in at your original balance. Maybe you can walk us through your thinking. What did you do with your account after you requested the payout? How much buffer did you leave in? You don't need to say the amount, just like maybe percentage wise. What do you think it's a good solution for that, and how much traders should keep in? What do you think?
So I think I left myself like 3 or 4% on the account. I mean, I don't really know what the exact logic was, but it just kind of seemed like the right number.
Right. Okay.
So my logic being was, it's very rare that I'll have back-to-back losing days, and
Right.
it's really rare that I'll have 3 or 4. You know, I can't actually remember the last time I had 2 losing days on the bounce, and 3 losing days just seemed like really out of the world. And if I hit 4, then I'm going to lose the account, and I just generally don't have that many losing days in a row. So I kind of just worked it backwards from what I thought what the sort of potential losses could be if I went on a bad run.
Right. Okay, so actually, so basically your logic then was based on your data. So if you see that your data is good and you do not lose, then obviously you can decide on the buffer. And actually, I think the number we do suggest is around like 4 or 5%. It's simply like just so you can have like a max drawdown, because max drawdown is actually 6% when you trade your account. And then once it locks in, we do suggest to keep like the same max drawdown, but obviously also really good that you take actual data and you see, look, I don't lose a lot, which is really good to hear, you know? So you need to give some of that magic to me, please. But no, it's really logical and it does make sense. And I think it's really, really good that you actually looked on your data and you're like, well, I don't lose 2-3 days in a row, so I can actually afford to leave only like 3 or 4% buffer. So that makes sense. So yeah, well, I wish you all the best. I hope you will receive more payouts. Just stay consistent, you know, stay focused. But before I let you go, I always ask traders to give like an advice or a tip to someone who is like starting to trade with either prop firms or just starting the journey. So what would be the words of wisdom that you could share with us?
I mean, the best bits of advice that I got weren't really, they're kind of old-fashioned. Jesse Livermore said that if you're in a position and it's a loser from the go, then you want to get out. And when you're in a winner, you want to be holding it. So it's really easy to close off trades when, or hold trades when they're losing, because we get filled with hope. And it's quite difficult to keep holding them when they're winning. But if everything tells you the price is going to go where it's going to go, then hold on to your winners and get rid of the losers as quick as you can. Which, incidentally, I actually had to speak to risk because I was cutting trades really, really quick. Because the way that my strategy works, if I go into drawdown, then I've done something wrong. And I know, so if I'm taking a trade, I basically try and get myself to break even as quick as possible, because I don't like losing.
Of course.
So yeah, probably an extended way of saying, hold your winners and get rid of your losers as quick as you can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wish it was easier than it actually is. You know, there's the saying, it's easier said than done, but for sure it can be done. You just need to work on yourself. And it's exactly what you say. Holding the losers is so much easier. You get filled with hope, and then you just like, the deeper it goes, then you're like, oh, maybe I can take another trade. And I mean, I've seen it all for sure. So anyhow, Anthony, just wanted to say thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you, and I wish you all the best, more success with us, more payouts, stay consistent, and who knows, I might speak with you on another success interview, right?
Yeah.
Right. Take care.
All right. Cheers, Anna.